Hello, this is going to be a really quick video on how to replace the top caps of a MGC Square-1 with the black caps. So a really quick way to do this is using a stick eraser. So we're going to remove the caps in a way that won't damage any of the pieces, because that's where a lot of issues come in. Is what people do is they rush this removal and they end up breaking the little pegs inside of the caps on the parts, and they can't put it back together. So we'll do this nice and slow. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a stick eraser, and you can use any flat metal object also, but if you're using something that's metal, what's going to end up happening is you might scratch the cube. So I like using plastic stick erasers because they don't scratch the cube. So what we're going to need to do is I'm going to first remove the corner caps from the puzzle. What we're going to do here is slightly turn it so we can see kind of like the lip where the colored caps meet the primary plastic. And we're just going to go ahead and push this up from the side. We don't want to lift from the top, because if you lift from the top and you lift it at a weird angle, you're going to break the little tabs inside. So I'm going to do this nice and slowly so not to damage the caps. Again, try to approach this from the side so you can see it. There we go. So that's one off. We're going to repeat that for the rest of the corners as well. Again, nice and slowly. We're not gonna, it should just pop off really easily. Okay, so I felt that lift up, but it's not coming off like the other one. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the other side and try to lift that one up. So if it's stuck, don't force it. That came off. Move on to this corner. And we're just kind of lifting it, alternating between this corner and that corner, this corner and that corner, to slowly remove the caps without damaging them. So here I'm lifting up, nothing's happening, so I'm going to move on to this one. Nothing's happening. I move on to the other side again. Nothing's happening. Move on to the other side again. Okay, nothing's happening. So in this case, this cap is really stuck on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my stick eraser and actually approach it from the top here. And we're just going to try to push that in the gap right there. See how it lifted up like that? So that should have loosened up the other sides as well a little bit. And we're going to repeat that thing with the corners. There we go. So this one, again, you would just take your stick eraser, stuff it right underneath that where the colored plastic meets the primary plastic. We're just going to push down. And if it's not pushing down, we're going to go to the sides. Again, we don't want to damage anything here. We just want to do it as slowly as possible so we're not damaging any pieces. And we don't want to push up too hard either, because you might actually damage the piece itself. So we're just trying to coerce the caps to come off. So here, that moved a little bit, but I'm not going to force it. Here, there we go. So that's the corners. The edges are a little bit easier because you can do what we did with the corners from the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick my stick eraser like this. Press towards me. I'm just trying to get this up. I'm going to go ahead and press towards me. Nothing's happening. We're going to go through the side. Like that. Start over here. Press towards me. Nothing's happening. Go to the side. Here. See how that lifted up? Now we just press from the side. And what we're doing here is we're just releasing the caps from the part itself. If it's not going, we're just trying to coerce it very slowly. So this guy, being a little stubborn, there we go. Cool, so that's how you would remove the caps. Next, we're gonna actually go ahead and replace the white parts here. This is what this customer wanted. Where's the black caps? They're right here. Wrong box. So here's the black parts. Also, this screwdriver, completely useless because this metal part spins in itself. Just a warning. All All right, cool. So what we don't want to do is we just want to split it like that. We want to slowly kind of just wiggle the piece out like that. Because look at these little tabs. They're going to break so easily if you just try to force them. So again, over here, I'm just going to pull this straight up, not bending it outwards like that. We're just pulling it, or pushing it rather, from here straight up like that. So we're not damaging any of the little tabs here. And I'm missing one more. There it is. There we go. So it's going to be the same deal with the corners. So we're just going to be pushing from this little pole right here. And this is going to be a little bit harder because there's two pieces now. So very slowly, just try to pull them off like that. We're not pulling at an angle, we're pulling straight up. Like that. Pulling straight up. One more. Like that. So that way you do not damage anything. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these white pieces aside. Okay, so now we are ready to put the black caps onto the cube. So we're gonna start off with the edges real quick because there's only one. So here we have the little tab right here. We're just gonna go ahead and push that in to this tab right here, and we just wanna do a nice firm push without really forcing anything here. Just nice firm push so it's nice and flat, and we can then take the entire thing and then push it back into the cube. We're just gonna go ahead and repeat that with the rest of them. So nice and carefully, push it back into the cube. Nice and carefully, onto the cube. One more. Take your time, because if you don't take your time, things will break. Okay, great. So for the corners though, what I'm gonna do is I'm actually just gonna go ahead and slide them into place like this. So the reason we do this is because it's already easy enough to kind of put the caps from the top. So this will just save some headaches. Plus you can make sure that you're assembling the corners properly. So make sure that this rounder part is towards the center more. So make sure you're putting the right tile in the right position. It does matter. Here and here. And now we're gonna take our corner cap and we're just gonna slowly position it over where it needs to go, like that. Give it a nice firm push down. And repeat that for the rest of them. Now we don't make sure that those little tabs line up with these little holes inside of the corners. Because what's gonna happen is if you don't, you're gonna bend one of those pins. It's gonna be really impossible to put the thing together. So just wanna make sure that's right. Nice firm push. Make sure that's right. Firm push. One firm push. And just make sure that everything is nice and flat. And that's how you would replace the caps on an MGC Square-1.